What's going on, guys? We're back at it again. And it's been a while since we've uploaded a video. But today's an interesting one. My truck developed an issue to where it was showing it had 100 PSI oil pressure.
Yep.
At idle.
No.
That's bad?
It's not. No bueno. Not good.
So when I turned the truck off, guess what it was showing?
What?
100 PSI with the truck off.
Mm-hmm.
So after a little bit of research and looking into it, I found out that the oil pressure sensor is probably the culprit to this. So me and the dude here are going to go through and change out the oil pressure sensor. It should be a relatively easy job, but we know how that goes in any work on a car. It always takes longer than it seems.
Yep.
So we'll get back at it, and I'll show you guys along the way. So we're here at the truck.
Yep.
Do you want to show the people where the sensor is?
Yeah.
So
The sensor
if you can see it, the dude will try to point it out.
right there.
That's the sensor. Move your finger away from the camera a little bit. So now point it out.
Right there.
Got it. So yeah, first step is getting that thing unplugged. As you can see, there's some hoses for us to work around. With dude's little arms, we should be all right to get it down in there, to get it on done. The socket, I had to special order a socket. It was like a 1 1/16 socket or something crazy.
Like this big.
I'll get the exact size for you guys, so if you're watching this and you ever have to do this, you'll know. So yeah, once I get all that taken care of, you guys will see it. Hold on one second, I'll actually show you the socket. So the socket I actually got off of Amazon. Yeah, it's a 120. It's a 27 millimeter 1/16 is what it says right there. I don't know if you can see that too well, but there you go. A little backwards, but yeah, had to special order this just to change this stupid sensor out. So, and then I got a Dorman sensor, also off of Amazon, because why not? So, got the sensor off. It comes with the silicone already on the threads. I'm going to add a little more for myself just for safety reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this has been sitting on the shelf, so for all I know, that thread coating probably isn't that good.
And we don't want this problem again.
Exactly. Plus, if I don't put a little bit more on there, it could cause a leak. So I'd much rather put just a little extra on there just for safe mind. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get at this. Dominic's gonna be doing a lot of the work today, so I'll break everything loose and let him take it all off. And then when we go to install it, I'll probably install it just because with this being a brass fitting, it has to, I don't want to cross thread it and I don't want to over tight it. So I think I watched the video and the guy said it was like 18 pounds of torque to tighten this down the right amount. So I might even break out the torque wrench. I haven't even opened it yet, and I got it last Christmas of like 2023. So, but yeah. Anyways, let's get at it. So the first thing we have to do is take off the plug for the sensor. This is going to be interesting because I have to get my arm down there a certain way to try to get it. There's supposed to be a tab there, but everybody said there's a red tab you have to take off. I guess mine must have dry rotted and fell off, so. Just came right off. Yeah, I don't see any corrosion in there. As you can see, there's no corrosion.
Y'all are just now getting out there?
Yeah.
And look, Mama Bear's over the camera listening to us. So yeah. Now hopefully she's not too rusted. The worst case scenario is this bitch breaks off in the block, and then we're really screwed.
Yeah.
So let's get the socket on there and see if we can get it out without it breaking. Should be interesting. So we just figured out, I tried to get the socket on there, and to get past all the hoses to where you can actually get the socket on there, you need a big ass extension.
Yeah.
So got the extension. Now we're gonna try to get it off. Dominic's doing all the recording, so you gotta find that sensor. Okay. Oh god. I'm gonna have to go inside the fan shroud, really? I guess I could have went with a smaller extension. Kind of overcompensated with the extension.
Don't have to have a super duper long extension.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, she's come on, really,
It was looking for something else.
really easy. So that's good.
Right there.
Now my motor is kind of crusty.
Cranking.
She's a Canadian truck. One owner. I'm the second owner, so the first owner was up in Canada. So my truck definitely has some. She's had some salt baths, to say the least. So the engine is pretty crusty.
Crusty, musty.
Goals in life is to get a new blocker, or at least get this blocker finished. All right, I think she's loose enough now where I can get her off my hands.
The whole crane.
Or should I say Dominic can get it off of his hands?
Yeah.
Maybe not. There's just no room with all the hoses and everything.
Maybe they put this part on like before they put the hoses on. It's easier.
All right, Dom. I think you can probably get down there and get the rest of it. Can you reach it at least? You may not even be able to reach it. If you have to, climb up on the truck.
That's impossible. No. Nope, I can't even reach it.
You can't reach it?
Yeah, I can't even reach it.
Okay, you go back to recording.
Okay.
I'll get it the rest of the way up. Yeah. Now they said it'll leak a little oil, so we'll see about that. I don't have any oil coming out.
Well, you might have.
I know there's oil in it because I checked it the other day.
It does, and it just have to put
All right, guys and gals, if there's any gals watching,
Yeah. That one would be mechanic.
she's pretty crusty,
Yeah.
pretty dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably the factory one that came on the truck too. It looks like it is, anyways,
Yeah.
according to that part number. So we'll get the other one wrapped up. As you can see, there's absolutely
No, it's not focused. There we go. Now it's
there's no silicone on these threads whatsoever on this one. That's how old this is. The silicone
Wow.
actually wore off of this.
That's probably why it's not working.
It's a possibility that it lost pressure. So yeah, we'll definitely get the new one thrown on there with some new silicone around the threads, and see if the check engine light goes off. The check engine light for this, I think it was P0520. I'll double check that and I'll put it in the video. But if you ever get that code, this is the problem. So we'll get it changed out. So got the new sensor here. It has that red silicone on it. I got the same silicone here, the red high temp HTV. So we're going to I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger like this. A lot of guys don't touch it because a lot of guys won't touch stuff like this because they're pussies. But I don't mind it. I've touched worse.
That's true.
So, and as Dee said, this stuff does not smell the greatest.
Yeah.
And you don't need a whole lot, so don't be like, oh my god, I'm going to kick this on here. No, you're not trying to permanently seal it, guys. All you're trying to do is make sure, because we're not going to tighten this all the way up, or we're not going to tighten this super tight. So all we're trying to do is we're going to snug this in there, and then the silicone is going to go ahead and seal it the rest of the way on so there's no leaking. Because this is a brass fitting going into an aluminum block. If you get it too tight, you're either going to break the threads in the block or you're going to strip the threads on this. So once again, you're just snugging it on there pretty good, not over tightening it, and then the silicone will do the rest of the work for you. Simple as that. So just to approve of what I said earlier, the code is P0520. If you get a check engine light and you get that code, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be this sensor. It's really simple. Like I said, it took us all of 30 seconds to get it out of the truck.
Yeah, not that long.
Not that hard to pull out. I don't even think it was seized at all. And my truck has 120,000 miles on it, and that was the original sensor. I looked up the code. The original sensor that came in the truck in 2014. That's 11 years ago. So that's it. Hopefully this will fix it. Once I get it in here, I'll clear the code, see if it comes back. I know I do have another check engine light for the fuel sending unit and the level. I do have that right here. So me and Dominic will eventually wind up getting the fuel pump changed out that has the level sensor. I thought about doing it today, but I just put gas in my truck, so there's like a full tank of gas. And in order to do it, I can either lift the bed off the truck or drop the tank. And well, if it has a full tank of gas,
the gas is gonna get everywhere.
It's gonna get everywhere, and it's gonna be really, really heavy. And this is all I got for help. He's a little guy, so me and him trying to lift a heavy gas tank with full gas is not a good combination.
Yeah, you might want to.
So I'm gonna wait until I'm
a little low.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna run it down out of gas, almost. Well, not out of gas, but pretty low on gas, and then we'll drop the tank and replace that, and we'll bring you guys along on that. I've had this fuel pump since last spring. So Mama Bear's probably gonna be getting aggravated at me that I bought this like $95 fuel pump and I haven't installed it yet, and it's just been sitting in the garage. So I'm sure she's probably thinking, I thought you needed that part. Well, I do. I've just been procrastinating. So we'll get it in here eventually, hopefully soon. Right now it's only like 35 degrees outside, so I don't plan on being out here too long. But I needed to get this fixed because obviously fuel pressure is important. Knowing what your fuel pressure is important. So this definitely needed to be fixed ASAP. The fuel pump, I keep pretty good track of my fuel mileage, so I know what I have and what I don't. So we'll get that fixed eventually. So just in case you guys are wondering where that fuel sensor goes, it is in that hole right there, which is directly above the fuel filter, as you can see down there. So you can get through to it from the bottom or the top. Like I said, my engine is pretty crusty. So I'd imagine I'm going to start having issues with it eventually with how much rust is on it. But yeah, that is where the fuel sensor goes. Really easy to get to. It's just with these pipes here, you're going to need an extension to get to it. Now, like I said, I used probably too big of an extension to get to it. But yeah, I suggest doing it when the truck's cool, because the videos I've seen of guys changing out the sensor did it when their truck was warm and fuel came out of that hole.
Yeah, probably because some fuel was still left in the engine.
Well, no, it was because the oil was thinner when it was running because it was warmed up. So all my oil right now is setting in the bottom of the engine because it hasn't ran yet today. I mean, I haven't went anywhere. Yeah. I haven't started the truck. So all the oil's kind of setting. So there's nothing coming out of the hole yet. So there's no pressure built up in the engine. So we'll get that thrown in there, and hopefully this will take care of the issue. I just wanted to show you guys exactly like where it went. And like from the passenger side of the truck is where I am. A lot of the guys pull the airbox and pull a bunch of the hoses and stuff. You don't have to do all that. It's not that hard to work around these hoses. So pretty straightforward job. If Dominic could reach it, I'd let him do it. Yeah, but his alarms are a little too short to get down that far. My truck sets on a 6-inch lift.
My heels are almost long enough, but not long enough.
Yep. So my truck's on a 6-inch lift kit with 35-inch tires. So that's a little bit of an issue why Dominic can't reach the sensor. But eventually he'll get there. All right, so I'm getting ready to put this in here. Highly suggest starting the sensor off with just your hands. Don't try to start it with it inside the socket. Yeah. It's going to cause possible cross-threading if you try to start it with the socket, just because of the location. And a trick my grandpa taught me back in the day is if you can't find the threads by going the right way to begin with, go backwards. And then you'll hear it click when it's finally at the beginning of the threads. Dang, this is not wanting to catch. Wait, there it goes. Okay. So Grandpa's trick worked really well that time.
Yeah, good.
So, I got a finger tight there. I'm going to keep going until I can't tighten it with my fingers anymore. Like that. That's as tight as I can get it with my fingers. Now, what I'm going to do is go dig out my, dig out my torque wrench and get this right at 18 pounds. If I can't find my torque wrench now, I'll just snug it up real good. Like I said, I'm not going to over tight it. It probably doesn't need much tighter than what I got with my fingers, since I put the silicone on there. But okay, I was wrong. I needed a lot more to go. I couldn't see the threads because of my poor lighting. But I moved my light around. It still seems like it has a lot to go, but it's super tight, so I'm not going to force it any further. I'm not taking a chance of stripping these threads out. So like I said before, if it starts leaking, I'll tighten it more. But I think the silicone will do its job that I put on there. Should seal it, which should give me my oil pressure back. So we will see.
And we got a little special guest right here. Mr. McNoodles, Caden, is here. He decided he wanted to come out here and be with us today. So we'll see you guys in a little bit on the truck.
So, I remember I said it seemed like it still had a lot to go. Oh, get out here. So, I remember I said it seemed like there was a lot to go. I just looked at the old one, and there's still a lot of threads left on the old one where you can see where it didn't thread in all the way. So, and that's about the same amount that's on the new one that we just put in. So, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, we should.
So, yeah. What do you think, Caden?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, I agree. Pretty gross, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go put it in the box.
Yeah.
Put it in that box over there. So we'll see. I'll be right back at you guys. I got it plugged in. I'm gonna go in here with my computer and clear the code and start it up and see if it goes away. All right. So we're in the truck.
Yep.
I got my OBD2 scanner. I got this for Christmas. Obviously, it's probably from Amazon.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. So we're gonna hook it up and erase the codes. Yep. I can show you guys the codes on here first, then I'll erase it, and then we'll start the truck up and see.
We might even show you the code number.
Yeah, and then we'll see if it erased it. So the truck's in the on position. We're scanning it right now.
Scanning.
Hopefully this fixes the issues. It said 2 codes found. One of them is going to be for the fuel sensor level, which I could probably erase that right now too.
Obviously.
So we're going to read the codes, stored codes.
Engine oil.
So as you can see kind of here, it's the P250. Let me turn the camera around. So see? P0520 oil, engine oil pressure, sensor, switch A circuit. That should be the code that we just fixed with that sensor. So as you can see, now there's no check engine light. See 123,000 miles actually. So no check engine light because my fuel is up high enough to where the sensor is not messing up on it. And my oil pressure is right in the middle where it should be. Go over on the screen, 52 psi at idle, which is a little high. It will drop. Right now it's kind of, I noticed that Mopar has this thing to where when you first start up and it's cold, it idles high and then it'll idle down once it gets warmer, so that psi should drop some. So as you can see, the codes is erased.
Yep.
I can turn the truck off. The PSI just went down to 50 as I went to turn the truck off. So you can see it's been running for a minute. PSI is actually dropping. Like I said, Dodge has that thing where they run high, the RPMs run high when it first starts up and then kind of goes down as it gets warmer. So she's starting to get down to normal operating oil pressure now. So, but it's weird because the code reader is still reading that it has that code with no check engine light on the dash, which is weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it off, put it in run mode, and I'm going to run the diagnostic again. There we go. Start it. It doesn't have a check engine light on, so that's all I care about. It's probably just one of those things that the code has to work it out of the computer. The PSI is showing up on the dash like it's supposed to. As you can see, 0 codes found. So I'm pretty sure it's probably just because it's stored the code in the computer. So once the truck runs for a minute, it'll probably straight. We'll see. Next thing is to do the fuel pump. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna do it today. Dominic's little fingers are freezing off, and the tips of my fingers are getting kind of cold. So
might go. Me too.
yeah, we might go down and work on Moxie. We want to run the camera into her cylinder heads and look at the cylinders in her.
See if anything's wrong or something.
See if the valve made contact with cylinders, or with the piston heads. So we'll see about that here in a second. We'll add that into this video too, if there's anything interesting to find, or I might just take you guys along so you can see the process of doing that. So either way, we will see you guys in the next video.